Today's episode of The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown is brought to you by Jennifer C. at HomeLifeCultureLink.com, Nino Simeka at MortgageGodfather.ca, and Jewelry Forever at JewelryForever.ca. Enjoy the show.
Broadcasting live from Glenmore Record Studios in Toronto, this is The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown, your Sunday morning talk show with interesting guests, live musical performances, and the most fun you can fit in your coffee cup. Hosted by Scott Dion Brown and Regine Alaina, this is The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown.
Hello. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 151. 151, people, of The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown. A lovely blue sky here in the city of Toronto. Not a cloud in it. I decided to make an Americano today instead of a latte because I was too lazy to foam the milk. But it's still quite lovely. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Scott Dion Brown, and I'm joined by the greatest co-host in all the galaxy. The one, the only,
Regine Alaina. Happy Sunday, everyone. And since you mentioned Galaxy, I just really wanted to quickly say happy third birthday to Canada Galaxy Pageants. Today is our birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Canada Galaxy. And
Yes.
shout out to the one and only Cindy with an S.
Mm-hmm. Happy third birthday. Our third birthday is coming up, actually, Scott.
Yeah, the Sit Down's third birthday. It's
In 2 weeks.
incredible. It's been quite a journey, Regine. Quite a journey.
Mm-hmm.
Rosanna Shaw, good morning. Hi, how are you? Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here, and hello to you all. Please hit that like button if you haven't yet, and hit that subscribe button if you're new. We're gonna have a great time here chatting this morning. Regine, how was your week?
My week was good. I opened up shop again at Deliciousness Treats since the weather changed. I was like, you know what? It's hot chocolate season again. Let's do it. What else did I do? That's probably the most interesting thing. How about you, Scott?
Well, some of you guys may have noticed there was no show last week because, yes, because I had traveled to the West Coast. I was in the West Coast, visiting my brother who's living out there in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Mm-hmm. How's Taylor doing?
He's doing pretty good. He's got himself set up out there, but it's very rainy out there, Regine. It's rainy.
Oh goodness.
Well,
isn't that what Vancouver is known or BC is known for?
Yes, but I didn't believe it. Like, you know how here when they're like, oh, it's gonna rain tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can be like, probably won't rain, and like half the time it doesn't. But then if it does, it usually rains for like an hour or something, or maybe a little more, you know. But like it doesn't ruin your whole day or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's not how it was in BC.
But they're used to it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're used to it. I wasn't used to it. It was raining
No.
I got there, it was raining, and it rained constantly for the entire 3-4 days I was there. It did not stop at all, the entire time.
Oh.
In fact, I saw something that I've never seen before.
What?
So I went out there with my dad,
Mm-hmm.
and we were walking down the street, and we had to actually go to Shoppers and buy an extra umbrella because it was too rainy. We couldn't walk around without it. And we're walking, and we walked past a park, and there was like a woman there with a child, and they both had raincoats on, and they were just like enjoying a time at the park in the pouring rain. So the kid was on the swings, and he was just enjoying himself in the playground. And I've never seen that before, because usually if it's raining, you don't go out to the park. But I guess if it always rains there, what are you going to do?
Well, Well, if they're in like proper parkas and rain boots and all that, they're fine.
Oh yeah. They were. I'm sure they were dry. The raincoats and everything. But it was just interesting to see, like, yeah. Because me, if I was planning to go somewhere, I'm gonna go walking or whatever. Oh, it's raining. It looks like we'll have to reschedule.
But then they'd be inside forever.
Exactly. So I guess, I don't know. Apparently it's the rainy season. Anyways, lovely city. I do like Vancouver. I have been there once before, and it didn't rain that time. But I think it's their summers generally are not as rainy. Like it's more like they go through a rainy season, and I guess that's what they're doing right now. But quite an experience, Regine. Quite an experience.
Nice. I've never been to the West Coast, but we're going from West to East Coast on the show today, aren't we, Scott?
Yes, it's countrywide. It's coast to coast, Regine. It's not coast to coast to coast yet. We'll have to get somebody from like the Northwest Territories one day. But we are going to the East Coast today, and I have a bio. For our guests. We should introduce them.
Yes.
Okay, our bio. Our guest today, ladies and gentlemen, is a cosplaying, pageant, gaming queen who is no stranger to the stage. She began competing in pageants at the age of 14, but her love for music is what brought her to the stage for the first time, being a member of multiple different choirs in her province. So she also has a lovely singing voice, Regine.
You should add singer to that title.
Yes.
Cosplaying, beauty, singing, video gaming queen.
Yes. This introduced her to theater, where she took part in many different local productions. In 2016, she attended her first sci-fi convention in Halifax, where she dressed up as one of her favorite comic book characters, Catwoman.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm a fan of Catwoman. And she was hooked. Although most in her local cosplay and sci-fi community know her for her multiple different versions of Catwoman, she has also cosplayed Sailor Moon. I like Sailor Moon.
Me too.
Poison Ivy, Maleficent, and many more from both the comic book and anime world. She can be found attending kids' birthday parties and takes part in volunteer groups of cosplayers who put together video games for terminally ill children.
Aww.
Yeah. She has recently launched her platform called Royal Crusader, which will be hosting its first virtual charity pageant at the end of November. When she's not competing, volunteering, or in cosplay, her favorite thing to do is play video games, specifically MMORPGs. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm sit-down welcome to Krissy Kat.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so
welcome
much for
to the-
having me.
Thanks for joining us this morning or this afternoon.
Yes, it's
Nova
just after
Scotia.
12 here.
Oh, just after 12. Okay, yeah. So it's 12:10 or 12:11 or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're an hour ahead. And you're coming to us from
The Annapolis Valley in Nova Scotia.
Cool. I've never been out. I haven't been to the East Coast yet. I've been basically all the way to the West Coast and drove across, but I haven't been to the East yet, but I really want to one day.
It's beautiful. You need to come here.
Yeah. My brother actually got to go out there for work one time, and he said he had an amazing time. So, yeah. Well, how are you? Welcome to the show.
I am tired, but good. We just had our first convention for the first time since the pandemic started, so I am fresh back from that. I got back from HalCon 2021 last night.
Awesome.
That's
And how
so.
did it- Oh yeah, go ahead, Regine.
I was gonna say that's amazing because Krissy was on the pageant sit down and we were talking about how she missed the conventions and wanted to dress up again. And literally that day, she got an email saying that it was coming up again. And then now that you're here on the sit down, you just came back from it.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Yes, it really is.
So how was HalCon?
It was so good. They did such a good job at making it pandemic friendly. It wasn't as big as it normally would be. Usually we would have people from really all over the world attend. It's quite big for being in Nova Scotia, but it was just kind of restrict it to the Maritimes for this year, and it was really relaxed though, because there was less people around, and they did a really good job at making sure you had to be vaccinated in order to go in. So they did a really good job at the organization of checking all of that, and then making sure that we were all wearing our masks. And I was a little nervous because it was my first big event since the pandemic, but it went really, really good. They did a great job at pulling that off. And I actually, day 2 is today, but I am not able to go today because I had other than this, I have other stuff going on today. So it worked out perfect that I was able to come to this first and then talk all things cosplay and pageants and gaming.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
What did you dress up as?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
So I did Asuna from Sword Art Online.
Oh, I haven't watched Sword Art Online, but I know it's hugely popular.
No, it's one of my favorites. It was her season 2 look, actually, where she was the fairy queen Titania. She was kidnapped and kept in a birdcage for most of that season, but
Wow.
Cool.
I saw your pictures, so like I know what you looked like. I just wasn't sure who the character was.
yeah.
Oh wait, Titania, is that the same Titania from A Midsummer Night's Dream? Is it? Maybe.
I think she's roughly based off of her, but no, not exactly.
Well, I recognized that name. Yeah, but that's yeah, but that's So what I saw, we read a bit in your bio, so you kind of got introduced to cosplay. But what is it about cosplay that keeps bringing you back, that makes you love it?
Well, my first convention, I was Catwoman, and actually it's very similar to what really kept me going back to pageants. The first thing was the first second I stepped into a convention, I actually felt completely welcomed, and like I could be 100% myself. There was no judgment at all, so it just felt like it felt like home, I guess. That sounds weird, but it felt like home. It was the most amazing thing and the most amazing environment that I've ever been around, so that really helped bring me back. But because I was dressed up as Catwoman, I had a lot of children come up to me and really want to, like, they thought I was Catwoman and they loved it. And that is usually, like, same with pageants, when they see me, it's, oh, princess, and that is one of the big things that really keeps me going back.
Cool. What are some conventions that you've attended?
So we have HalCon here. I haven't had a chance. Actually, last year I had planned to go outside of the Maritimes to get to some of the bigger conventions in Ontario, but then everything got shut down, so that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So we have HalCon here. We also have another one. It's called Spring Geekwinox. That's usually happening in April. That's one of my favorite little ones. There is CaperCon as well, in Cape Breton, and then up in New Brunswick, we have Anna Maritime and the East Coast Comic Expo.
I love how creative the names are.
Yeah. I think there's a few more than that too. There's some out in PEI. I think PEI has, I haven't been to this one. PEI has Island Expo, and Newfoundland has, I want to say it's Expo on the Rock. I think I might be wrong about that, but they have
cool name,
a
though,
fun looking one too that I'd like to go to.
That's awesome.
Sweet. Yeah, I had my first experience at a convention. I went to Dragon Con in
That's
Atlanta,
a dream.
Georgia. It was one of the coolest things I've ever been to. It's like everywhere you look, there's just like a feast for the eyes. Like everywhere you look, there's like, whoa, there's a
Yeah.
film ready costume. Like some of the cosplaying is so intricate. And I know people, like, some people prepare for like a whole year. It's like the convention ends and then they plan out their next outfit and they spend the whole year like building it, depending on what they're doing. But
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing. It's pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
it definitely is a sight to see. We have there's a local cosplayer here. He actually built a 7-foot tall bumblebee, and it's the most incredible thing I think I've ever seen. It has, like, I think it has working lights and everything on it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
This
And
is
they built.
Bumblebee from Transformers, right? Sorry, Scott.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Just checking.
Either that or a
Yeah,
gigantic.
from
I mean,
Transformers.
that would be cool too if it was just a giant bee.
Yeah.
But-
Lights.
Yeah, but that is cool. Yeah, that's the thing, because they have to build these costumes, and not only do they have to construct, build this thing, but they have to build something that they can actually wear and like walk around in all day for a convention. So it's like there's a lot of like engineering that goes into building some of these things.
Yes.
Pretty incredible.
If you're wearing armor, it can be very difficult, no matter how hard you try to make it easy to wear and easy to function in. It still can be very difficult, especially if it's an armor piece that has a lot of components to it. So when I was Sailor Moon, I actually did, there's an artist called Shutterfly, and she did they look like Wonder Woman versions of all the Sailor Scouts. So I did the Sailor Moon one, and so she has armor, but then she has her gloves and then her gauntlets over the gloves. So I couldn't text or anything. I couldn't be on my phone. I had to have somebody with me the whole time to basically do things for me. It was
cool,
one of my first ventures into doing armor, so I wasn't 100% sure how to do it, and didn't make the skirt very functional, so I could hardly sit. It was fun, but I definitely deconstructed it when I got home and took everything that I learned to start rebuilding it.
So do you build your own costumes, or?
For the most part, I do. So yesterday's was my first time sewing one, actually. I had help from my mother-in-law on that one, thankfully, because I am not the most skilled with sewing, but I wanted to take a stab at it, and my mother-in-law very, very graciously helped with that, and it turned out really good. My Sailor Moon, I made that whole thing by myself. My Catwoman, I didn't want to attempt to make the cat suit, because that is something I don't think I'd really know how to do. And the cowl I had commissioned, so somebody else made that for me. Actually, one of my pageant sponsors made it, Mrs. Milligan's Millinery and Haberdashery. So we connect it for pageants and cosplay. It's been a really, really good connection there.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, a big part of sort of the cosplay culture is that the costumes, either you make it yourself or you have somebody made, but the idea is that you wouldn't just go to a store and like buy a costume. Like you wouldn't go buy a Sailor Moon costume or something. Yeah, exactly.
You can. It's just if you do buy it, for the most part, you can't enter in the competitions. A lot of the competitions they have at the conventions are on work like craftsmanship. So you'd have to, if you want to enter a competition, you just need to make sure you know what the specifications of that competition are. But you definitely can go out and buy one and come in and do it that way. And if you're not somebody who can make things, so that makes it very easy for everybody to really try it.
I guess that makes sense, because like you were even saying in the beginning, was they're very like they definitely work hard at all these conventions to create a very welcoming environment. So that's a good point. Yeah, that's true. They would never be like, oh, you didn't make that,
you bought that.
Yeah, I mean, and not so much at conventions, but just like with any kind of thing that kind of puts you out there, especially if you're posting on your social media, there's going to be people who are negative about certain things. And there definitely are people out there who will judge if you do buy one, but they'll also judge if you don't make it movie perfect. So you just need to know to ignore those people, just like in any other thing that you're going to do.
Makes sense.
That's true.
There's I guess you find elements of that in kind of every type of fandom.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. Take certain parts of it very seriously, or just kind of get very aggressive towards people who don't look at it the same way. So yeah. What is it about Catwoman that makes you like to be Catwoman?
I like that she's a rule breaker. When I was a very defiant young child. And although Catwoman wasn't necessarily good, she also wasn't bad. She's an anti-hero, and then as her character and storyline develops through all the different arcs, you really see her come into being a true hero. I actually watched one of the new Batman movies yesterday. It was the Longest Halloween, I think it's called, and that showed her like really in the superhero spotlight. Like she outdid Batman a few times. I was proud of my girl. But when I was younger, I seen this really like feminine, strong, like she was tough and just didn't play by the rules, didn't play by what society wanted her to be, and I was hooked on her. She was my favorite. I think one of my first costumes, I remember I wanted to be Catwoman when I was like 5 or 6. We had to wear, it was Halloween at school. I was in grade primary. And I wanted to be Catwoman, but my mom bought me just a basic like cat, like a cat nose with ears and a tail and like something a child would wear. And I can specifically remember her saying, you can just tell people you're Catwoman because I do not feel like it would be appropriate for you to be in a skin tight suit.
That's fair.
Looking back now, she was probably right.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. And yeah, you're right. Catwoman, she's not really. I mean, she is one of the, Batman's. She's one of the villains in Batman, whatever, but not really in the same like. That's right. In Batman Returns, she was. Well, yeah, how did you describe it? Like she ends up with the Penguin, but not. Kind of more out of the circumstance that happens, and then in the end, she.
Yeah.
Kind of, she's kind of it's a tragic story that she becomes Catwoman.
Yeah, in Batman Returns, she really got the crap end of the stick there when it came to how she ended up becoming Catwoman.
Yeah. Have you seen Batman Returns, Regine?
Mm-mm.
It's really good. Very good.
That's my favorite Christmas movie.
I've seen the Halle Berry Catwoman.
I will not discuss that one.
I didn't see that, but I heard it was really, really awful.
That's the only one I've seen.
How she looked phenomenal, but the storyline and they didn't even, her name wasn't even Selena Kyle. So, like they changed everything, which they were trying to go for something original. I get it, but as a huge Catwoman fan, I wasn't too happy with it.
Isn't there a new show on TV called Catwoman?
There's Batwoman.
There's
Batwoman,
sorry,
yeah.
Ignore me.
There's a new Harley Quinn show that I think one of the, I can't remember which channel, it's one that I don't have. It's one of the ones you have to subscribe to, like Netflix and Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Harley Quinn show that has a new Catwoman in there that has been doing really good, but it's a cartoon that is not child friendly, so I wouldn't recommend this one to kids.
It's an animated series.
Yes, yeah, it is very, very much not child friendly.
I see. Well,
Noted.
That sounds cool though. Hey, Monkey Kid, welcome to the show. Hi. If you're just tuning in, everybody, we are here with cosplayer, beauty queen, singer, gamer, Krissy Kat. I wanted to ask you a little bit about Royal Crusader.
Sure, yes.
Yeah, tell us about it.
So if anybody had caught my episode with the pageant sit down with Regine a few months ago, I got asked the question if I had ever heard of a cosplay pageant, and I hadn't at that point. And so we were talking, and she was like, well, why don't you make one? You should make one. And that was kind of an idea I put under my hat, and from there it was kind of born. I've had issues kind of trying to nail down what my platform is because I want to do everything, but I thought once I finally settled on a name and I kind of made it superhero based. So Royal Crusaders is a cosplay superhero pageant, and one of the main components of it is to cosplay it can be an original character or something that you consider being a hero. So you can be Wonder Woman, you can be just yourself dressed up however you would feel like a superhero, or if a nurse in your community is somebody you look up to as a superhero, you could even do that. So for that part, I really left the sky is the limit. You can do whatever you want. If it's something or somebody that you feel exhibits what it is to be a hero, then everything is open for that. I wanted that to be really fun and creative. So and the whole thing is about showing what you feel being a superhero is and how you exhibit being a superhero. So there's a speech component as well, where you have to write a speech that is, what does being a hero mean to me? And then of course there's the panel style interview. So there's interview, speech, and then the cosplay portion, and 100% of the proceeds are going to go towards a local charity here called SOAR, and it stands for Survivors of Abuse Recovering. And another one as well that I'm really, really like, it's Feed Nova Scotia. So I have two charities that 100% of the funds are going to be going to.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Is it open to all ages?
It's open to all ages, all genders, anybody who, I made it very, very, very open.
Cool.
Awesome.
And I guess touching on what we mentioned, does somebody, when they're cosplaying, do they have to make their costume, or are there any rules around that?
I actually have made it so, because I thought it wouldn't be fair if we had professional cosplayers enter, and then people who don't know anything about cosplay enter. So the actual cosplay portion is not going to be judged on your craftsmanship at all. It's going to be judged on, it's going to be a submitted video. So you're going to have to submit a video, and the whole judging is going to be on presentation and personality and how you present yourself. And you do not have to make your cosplay. If you want to go out and buy one, you can, as long as you are showing what you feel exhibits being a superhero is.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I've got and I showed this flyer before, but I'll show it again here. So the Royal Crusader, everyone can be a hero, and there you are. You've got the 3 categories for judging: interview, speech, cosplay. 100% of the proceeds. And so if people can still sign up if they want to join?
Yes, I have sign up open until October 31st. And then the actual, so through the month of November, the contestants can send in their entries. The only thing that's going to be done live will be the interviews. That'll be done over Zoom. And that will be on, it's either going to be the 26th of November or the 27th of November. It was going to be the 27th, but a Christmas parade came up that day, so I need to work around that.
Cool. And so it's a virtual event, right? Is it something that people are able to watch? Like if they're not participating, is it going to be streamed somewhere, or is it more something that will just be done internally?
It'll be done internally, and then the announcing of the winner will be done. I'll be doing that live, probably on my Instagram.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, people. So if you are passionate about cosplay or interested in trying it out for the first time even, check out this brand new awesome pageant for a great cause, the Royal Crusader cosplay pageant, virtual. And
I love that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It took a while to come up with that name.
Yeah, but just to think about it, like it was something that we just briefly discussed, and then here we are now. It's happening. First off, I'm so proud of you for actually taking this idea and making it happen. And then not just one charity, but 2 charities are benefiting from it. And having it open to both men and women, any gender, any age group. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, that was really important to me, to have it completely open. I wanted to make sure that no matter what, if you wanted to try out pageants, or you wanted to try out cosplay, or if you just wanted to give to charity, anybody could have the opportunity to do it.
Sounds amazing. Everybody, check out the information. And I've got your Instagram linked down below. And actually, did I put the link to... How did you... If people wanted to... join, what's the best way, or should they get in touch with you somewhere?
So my email is included in the poster, or they can also private message me on my Instagram.
Perfect. Okay, there it is, people. Check it out. Let's we're at the halfway mark. Let's do the ads, Regine, and then I wanted to come back with Krissy and ask her about a bunch of other things, but gaming was one of them I thought we should talk about. So we will be back with you in a moment there, Krissy, but for now, ladies and gentlemen, today's episode of The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown is brought to you by the following fantastic advertisers. Hey, Regine.
Yes, Scott.
Do you want to find out what your home is really worth?
Maybe.
Are you buying, selling, investing, or renting a home?
Depends on how much it's worth.
Well then, Jennifer C., Realtor at Home Life Culture Link, is here to help. Call or text Jennifer today at 647-403-8887. Don't deal with just anyone. Speak to a professional. Jennifer C. at Home Life Culture Link. To see our current listings, visit homelifeculturelink.com. The Mortgage Godfather is here to give you advice with any mortgage needs you may have, and he will shop to find you the best mortgage. Nino Saimeka, mortgage agent. He'll give you an offer you can't refuse. He'll give you an offer.
Is he your superhero, Scott?
Yes, he is. Find out more at mortgagegodfather.ca or call 905-604-6955. Jewelry Forever, conveniently located at CF Markville Shopping Center on 5000 Highway 7 East Markham. They do custom-made jewelry, repairs, and they change watch batteries, all done on site. Jerry at Jewelry Forever is an absolute artist. If you have something, a vision for something custom that you'd like made, he is the man to make it. Or they have a fine selection of beautiful already made goods. And we got a great deal worked out with them, don't we, Regine?
We do. If you go in and let them know that Scott and Regine sent you, you'll get 15% off your entire purchase.
That's right, 15% off, 15%. Mention the show, tell them Scott and Regine sent you, and get a great deal on a great piece of jewelry. Find out more at jewelryforever.ca. And Regine, we should talk about it. Deliciousness Treats, everybody. It was brought to you by as well.
We are back in business for a limited time only. Hot chocolate bombs, dipped Oreos, and smash cakes at a limited menu at this point. So be sure if you are interested. We do ship our dipped Oreos across Canada. However, something different this time is there's only one pickup location, which is in North York. I would highly recommend placing your orders for the Christmas season soon because, believe me, it's filling up very quickly. So make sure you check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Deliciousness Treats on Facebook and Deliciousness_treats on Instagram.
That's right, everybody. Deliciousness Treats. Sweet treats. In a mug!
Now you can continue to use that.
That's right. And if you would like to advertise on the show, ladies and gentlemen, it's very easy, right, Regine?
It's simple. All you guys have to do is email us at radioshowad, that's radioshowad@gmail.com.
That's right. We do this show live every week, everybody. What does that mean? It means that you can customize those ads every week. If you have an event, a sale, something happening in a particular time or particular place, you let us know. We let your potential client base know in real time. Great way to build a brand new relationship with a brand new audience. Radio show ad, radioshowad@gmail.com. And we're back. Hello, jellyfish. There are 2 jellyfish. Incredible. Hello to you both. Jellyfish swimming in the ocean. And Jellyfish says, oh, that looks delicious. Yeah, Deliciousness Treats is delicious. I am happy, Regine, that you guys are back once again for the holidays, and I will definitely be placing several orders, so I'll get my order in soon.
Yay!
But everybody, if you're just tuning in, we are here with cosplayer, beauty queen, singer, gamer, Krissy Kat, the architect behind the Royal Crusader pageant. I wanted to ask you about gaming. So we have quite a bit of gaming on this channel. So you're a gamer. What kind of games do you play? What do you play?
So I am hooked on Black Desert Online right now. That is my favorite, and I try to switch to other games, but I always end up going back to that one.
Cool. Is that so? I know your bio said. What does MMORPG stand for again?
It is multi-mass online role-playing game.
Okay, cool. So, is it so? What type of game? Because I'm not familiar with that one that you're playing, but
like World of Warcraft. Are you familiar with that one? That would be an MMORPG.
Gotcha. So it's a type. So I've never played World of Warcraft either, but
I actually haven't either because I don't play PC. But that's usually the one that most people know what it is.
Makes sense. So you basically, it's like you level up your character, right? So you go on quests, but it's the type of game that you play over a very sort of extended period of time, right? And you kind of
yeah. So the map is huge and it's constantly expanding. Specifically in the one that I play, Black Desert Online. I also play another one. It's Elder Scrolls Online too. But the maps are huge and constantly expanding, and you can make your character and you can make them look however you want, pick your different classes. Very similar to like a standard RPG. You can do that in a lot of those as well. But you're in an online live world. It has its own environment happening. It has like weather that happens. It has its own internal clock. So it will go from day to night to like afternoon. And then the map changes by season too. So right now everything is all Halloween and fall. It's
Cool.
literally like you're in a virtual world that is just for gamers. And you have your quests and your storyline, and I get bored really easily with the storyline, so I level up so far and then I just kind of do my own thing. And that's the beauty of MMOs. You can kind of go off and just do what you want and literally live a virtual life. It can be dangerous if you are too addicted to it, and there's some nights where I look at the clock and I have to work the next morning and I'm like, uh-oh.
Oh no.
Yeah, I've been there. So so the way those games work, so it's you can just be walking around in that world and like you can come across other people, right? Because anybody can just like the world is just open.
Yeah, exactly. There's different servers that you can jump in and out of. Black Desert has, I think, about 35 servers. So you can jump in and out of different servers, and there are certain servers that you can go into if you want like player versus player. So that means that players can actually hurt you on the map unless you're in a safe zone. So there's specific servers for that. If you want to go into a busy server, it'll tell you if the servers are busy, and you can jump through pretty fluidly each of these servers depending where you want to be. And if you have friends that are coming on, and they can all just meet all in the same server.
Very cool. So I know we talked briefly before the show about you've been starting to explore the idea of streaming gaming as well, but you're kind of starting it out. But is there plans to be you're planning to be on Twitch and stuff?
Yeah, so I'm on a little bit now. I just started. I didn't have a camera for the longest time, so I felt it was a little difficult to kind of get subscribers because I didn't have a camera. It definitely is a lot easier with a camera. But I was able to develop at least a small community. I usually had at least like 3 people watching me at a time, so that was cool.
Nice.
There's somebody who cared. And I recently got a camera, and I've been a little too nervous to use it. I'm trying to plan exactly how I want to execute that and what I want to do, and if I want to go on as a character or just myself, or how I want to do it. So I have not used the camera yet, but I do have one, and I'm in the middle of further planning how I want my Twitch channel to develop.
Sweet.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. Well, so Regine, you kind of mentioned it a little bit, but the idea of like, do you think you might bring your two worlds together of cosplaying as well, like, you know, putting on costumes for the streams?
Yeah. And that's another thing I've been thinking about. Do I want to actually do my cosplay characters, or do I just want to create this persona that is completely original? So I'm in the middle of trying to decide of which of the two I want to do.
Well, you could do what Scott does and just put on a hat and sunglasses.
Yeah.
I change it up a little bit sometimes. Like when I played Pokemon Sword and Shield for the first time, and I noticed that like the main character, the way he dresses, is stuff that I kind of already had. Like he had like a hat and red. So anytime I was streaming that game, I was dressed as the main character. So you can have fun.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you've been cosplaying too, Scott.
I guess a little bit.
Well, you do. If you watch Scott's YouTube videos and his musical covers,
I've seen some of those. Yeah.
Oh.
It's fun. And like when I play Genshin Impact, a lot of the characters in Genshin Impact tend to have like cat ears, or sometimes of ears. Either some of them actually have ears, or it's either part of their like uniform or whatever, or their hair is just styled in anyway. It's a fairly common thing to see cat ears. So I just found whenever I stream Genshin Impact, I rock the ears.
So you're Scotty Cat and she's Krissy Kat.
Yeah, so.
Oh,
And actually,
that's amazing.
And the thing is, these ears, they're it's actually part of, like, when I bought it at the dollar store, like you can see there's like a crown here.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually like a unicorn costume, but I find when I'm streaming, you can never actually see the horn. So it's generally, it's more for the ears. But
That's great. I love that.
yeah. But where can
I just download. I haven't played it yet, but I just downloaded Genshin Impact a couple days ago. After I got kind of through my convention stuff, I was going to sit down and give it a try because a lot of people really like it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's not there's multiplayer. In fact, when I stream it, usually, because you have to do, well, I assume, I don't know if the game you're playing has, like, every time you log in, there's like daily tasks you can do, and if you get those
Yeah.
done, you can kind of So for those, you can once you get to a certain level, like, you can bring people in and like play with them. But generally speaking, the world is like, just every player who's playing has their own map, like it's their world. You can invite people to come and play in your world with you, but like a lot of the main missions are single player only. But the map's very nice. I don't know if you've played or if you've seen Zelda Breath of the Wild. Did you play that one at all, or
I played Zelda like way back when I was a kid on like the original Nintendo.
Oh, nice.
And then I got it for my Wii years ago as well, but I haven't played any of the newer stuff. I have seen clips though. I follow quite a few YouTube like gamer YouTubers, so I have seen clips of it, and it's beautiful.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's one of the Breath of the Wild. One of my favorite things was just exploring the world, because you can see a mountain and then you can just go climb it if you want.
Oh, wow.
And Genshin Impact has a lot of that same feel. It's just a nice world to be in. So even if you're just running around like gathering wood or something, or plants or whatever, or just looking for it's just a fun world to just walk around in.
It sounds a lot like it has like the MMO qualities, just without that online. Like you can explore and basically do what you want, and then it's an open map, is it? Yeah. So without that online component for the multi-mass, it sounds like it has a lot of, and I think that's what kind of sparked my interest. That, and a lot of cosplayers it's been very popular in the cosplay community. So that's kind of what really piqued my interest, because I like how the characters look. I like the cat ears and stuff. So I wanted to kind of see what it was all about. And I wasn't jumping on it at first because it's not an MMO, and I do tend to, I don't have a very high attention span, so I get bored really, really quickly, and MMOs tend to keep my attention for quite a while.
Cool. I think you'll like, and it doesn't surprise me at all that it's popular in cosplay, because that's the thing. Every character, not only is like all the characters very interesting looking, but they're all, every character is super unique in their design, and there's so much like weird detail. Like nobody in Genshin Impact has just like a normal jacket or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything is very stylized, and like there's tons of buttons, and there's weird, I don't know, buckles and all sorts of things. There's lots to dive in with. So
there's a few voice actors as well that have been talking, like they're the English voices, and it's a couple of voice actors from some of the animes that I watch too. So I usually like to follow some of the stuff that the voice actors that I like are in as well.
Cool. Well, I did want you to let people know what your Twitch is, in case people want to follow you on Twitch.
So everything is actually all under the same handle. It is Krissy Kat and __. So you can find me at that handle everywhere.
Sweet. All right. I'm gonna add your. In fact, what are the things that people can follow you on if they're going to search for you? So Twitch is one of them.
Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Okay, I'm going to add all of those. I won't do it now so that people don't have to see me typing on the show, but I will, as soon as the show's done, I will add all of those down below, everybody, in the description. Krissy Kat __. Cool. Okay, awesome. And everybody, if you're just tuning in, we are here with cosplayer, singer, gamer, beauty queen, Krissy Kat. So how did you get into?
Sorry, you can now add pageant director to that too.
Yes, yeah, you can.
Like, it just keeps her list keeps growing as she is talking to us.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did want to ask. I guess again, it's related, but what brought you into the pageant world as well?
So I think I told Regine this story, and it's one that it took me a while to actually open up about, because it's definitely not what I do now, that it's kind of more comedic than anything, but I wouldn't say this to the judges when they would ask me this when I was younger and competing. I started competing when I was like 14, and we have this local pageant here called Berwick Gala Days, so that's what I started in. And honestly, my friend competed in it one year, and she came back with a whole bunch of free gifts.
Oh,
and swag, and I wanted in on that, so I joined the next year.
I mean,
Nice.
it's a perk. It is a perk.
Yeah. I mean, 14-year-old me just seemed like, oh, you get like, she got free makeup, she got jewelry. Like I was, yeah, I wanted that. But, and then again, similar, I said this earlier, I was walking downtown. This was my first time competing, and I was walking downtown, and I had my sash and my crown. And for a lot of our local stuff here, so we've got Berwick Gala Days and we've got the Annapolis Valley Apple Blossom Festival. It's not like your title's not Miss wherever, it's Princess wherever. So I actually have sashes that say like Princess Berwick or Princess whoever my sponsor would have been at the time. So I'm walking down the street and my sash says Princess, and I'm wearing a crown, and the dress code, it's not as strict now, but back then it was very like proper, like white gloves and everything.
Wow.
So I'm walking down the street really looking like a princess, and just kids would come running up to me, and that's what really hooked me. Like I loved feeling like I was making the children happy.
Aw.
nice. Well, you know what? That would actually be an okay answer for the judges. You could say yes.
Yeah, now that I can see the comedic side of it, it's one that I am definitely not nervous to give, but when I was younger, I didn't think it sounded that good.
Yeah. I came for the swag. I came for the free stuff, but I stayed for the children.
I stayed for the children, yes.
Yeah. Well, that's
Well,
good.
you're currently preparing for another competition, aren't you?
I am, yeah. So it's actually been, because of the pandemic, the Team Canada hasn't been able to go for the past 2 years. The pageant still happened down in Florida. They still had it, but just Team Canada stayed back. But I'm currently Miss Atlantic Provinces, North America. And in July, we will be going down to Florida, and I'll be competing for Miss North America.
Yay.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. Actually, we should probably ask, because I think I'm not. Is she the first guest we've had on from the East Coast? I'm not sure if she might be.
Am I?
I think so.
I think so.
Awesome.
How did the pandemic impact you guys out there? What was it like?
It's been weird. Like I feel like, and again, I don't think that when this happened that our provincial leaders, I don't think anybody was really prepared, really. Like, how do you deal with a situation that's never happened before? So we shut down when it first started, the way everybody else did, and we were completely shut down, like could not do a thing. I'm lucky I could work from home, so I was able to work from home, so that wasn't impacted at all. But we were only allowed one person in the grocery stores at a time. We could only do the essential stuff. I know I seen
one person at a time at the grocery
yeah, so
store?
if I wanted to go, like it could only be one person from my household. So if
Oh,
I was
okay.
going,
I thought you meant-
like my husband would have to sit in the car, or I would have to sit in the car.
I thought you meant like one person in the entire grocery store.
Oh no,
at a
no.
time. I was like, how
No,
do they
but we did have
operate?
the arrows, and the biggest thing I've noticed though that has been the impact is the way other people are handling it. Like we have some people who of course think that it's like this isn't anything to worry about. Then we have people who are they're following the public health regulations, but then we have people who are really terrified, and it's just the way the people have been reacting has been one of the biggest things that I've noticed here. We opened up probably sooner than most of the rest of Canada did, because although we had a lot of cases for Nova Scotia because we're small, but when you compare it to Ontario or Alberta, it had hardly anything really. And then we shut down again around Christmas, but it wasn't as intense. We didn't have to only have one person in the store at a time. I think it was cases started to pick up a little bit around Christmas, so it was kind of a precaution. Like if we want to actually be able to see our family on Christmas, let's shut down before Christmas and just kind of stop it. And then another shutdown happened this past March, but since then, especially since the vaccines rolled out, and I think we're past 75% vaccinated in the province now. So we almost got to go with no masks in September. Or was it October 4th? We almost got to go with no masks, but we did start picking up on cases again. So now everywhere you go, if you're going into a restaurant, if you're going into a movie theater or convention, it's mandatory vaccines and mandatory masks.
Cool. Yeah, it's pretty similar to how it is here now.
Yeah.
Things are. I'm starting to feel cautiously optimistic now
After yesterday at the convention, I definitely am as well.
Cool. Yeah, the vaccine passport thing seems to. I mean, the vaccines in general seem to have done a good job of keeping the numbers down. And well, yeah,
And the fact that
yeah, Regine.
I was gonna say sorry. The fact that we just had Thanksgiving and that didn't create anything. I was like, oh, okay, this is good. This is promising.
Yeah. Now, New Brunswick, our neighbor, I don't know. I probably should pay a little more attention, but I've kind of been focusing more on Nova Scotia when it comes to that stuff. I was paying a lot more attention in the beginning, but now I'm just kind of focusing on Nova Scotia. But New Brunswick, they have mandatory vaccines, but they were not allowed to do anything over Thanksgiving. Like, I think I have a few cosplayer friends in New Brunswick who couldn't even come down to, even though it was open to the East Coast, they couldn't come down for HalCon because of some of the stuff happening in New Brunswick right now. Like they're calling it a circuit breaker, so they've shut like everything down in certain areas of New Brunswick completely.
I guess the circuit breaker. So that sounds like the idea is like go really, really aggressive at that one thing to try to stop it from continuing or something like that.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I'm understanding it.
That makes sense. Stop it before it continues.
I mean, it's definitely tough, and like what you said in the beginning, how nobody knew exactly what the right course of action was, and it's tough. I mean, and I know people. I do not envy the position any politicians are in through any of this, because it's like if you do, no matter what you do, you're going to have some group of people who either think it's not enough or it's too much. And the problem is, especially at the early days, it was like they're literally learning new things about this thing all the time. Like it's a brand new, virus. And so we can look back now with 2020 vision and be like, oh, can you believe they did that? Literally. Or, oh, they should have done this. They should have, but at the time, what can you do, right? And I think being overly cautious was probably better than not being cautious enough. But it's been tough.
I always, because people have their opinions about the vaccine, but my answer, and this usually makes people kind of either look at me really weird or just drop the topic altogether when they try to bring it up, because in public generally I don't like talking about it. It's not a topic that I would stay on, but when people do bring it up and if they are against it, I usually am like, well, I got it, and you know what, I'm a big enough nerd and I've watched enough X-Men that if I turn into a mutant, all right.
There you go.
And that's usually, they either look at me like I have two heads, or it's enough for them to be like, okay, you're weird, bye.
That's awesome. That's a great answer.
Yeah. Might hey, might get superpowers, might be able to shoot lasers, who knows, but yeah, okay, well that's a
great way to look at it.
Yeah, I agree. And things are coming back. In fact, like when I went to the only part I felt like I wouldn't even say I felt, because I just got back from BC, right? So but for me the most dangerous part of the entire experience was just the flight itself and the airport and all that. 'Cause there were, like, everybody has to wear a mask, but the plane was just a packed plane. Like I was sitting, it was me and my dad next to each other, and then there was somebody else directly next to me, people in the seat in front of me, people in the seat behind. So there was nothing resembling, like, I don't know, social distancing on the plane. And then
that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, and then there was a weird moment where, as the plane lands, they make that announcement that's like, everybody, we are, please keep your seatbelts on until we have pulled into the whatever. And, but they mentioned, and please make sure you don't congregate too much in the aisles to try to maintain social distancing. And she said that, I was like, what are you talking about?
But you're like sardined in there.
Next to a stranger,
Yeah, I'm like, there was... Anyway, but I guess they, they're doing the best they can, or like they have to try to say it to encourage people. But I'm like, we've just been on a 5-hour flight right next to, we're all right on top of each other for the entire 5 hours. So
yeah.
So I would have felt nervous if I wasn't like fully vaxxed, but because I am now, I know
Isn't it like you can't go on a plane even within Canada if you're not vaccinated?
I don't think that's the case. I mean, that might be the plan, but I don't think they've gotten there yet.
I know they were talking
if
about
you're
it.
not, you have to isolate for a certain amount of time still, probably.
Well, because I can say 100% when I went to check in, like they didn't ask for vaccine anything. They didn't ask for any passports. But I did hear somebody told me the other day that I think the plan is to make it like that, but I don't think it's happened yet, and it wasn't the case
Mhm.
then.
Good.
So, but
I
anyway,
mean,
we'll
it's good
see.
and it's not because you're in a pact.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I just sort of, accepted it, and and again, because I'm aware of, I know that the vaccines are working, so there are
Mhm.
breakthrough cases, but there are far fewer than. Anyways, you do the best you can. But anyway, I've gone there, I've come back, and I don't seem to be infected. So there you go.
So you could have gone to Indianapolis, Scott.
Yeah, I was vaxxed at the time. The only reason I didn't go to Indianapolis was because I didn't want to pay for a flight to Indianapolis.
But you
Yeah.
paid for a flight to go to BC.
Yeah, but you know what's funny? It was cheaper. The flight to
Really?
BC was cheaper. Yeah. Well, because so I was gonna go to Indianapolis for it was actually a convention. It was for Gen Con, which is
Yes.
gaming convention, tabletop gaming. But they do a lot of cosplay there as well. Actually, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I was going there for the film festival for my film, and it was and I planned it to go and everything, but then they have the border shut for driving, so you can fly to the U.S. But if you're driving there, it's closed. You're not allowed, and so I
That's
had the
opening up though now, isn't it? Soon.
Yeah, I think November, late
Next
November or
month.
Yeah.
something. Yeah. But no, yeah, I did look into flights, and I can't remember how much they were, but I think it was over $500 they wanted for a round trip to Indianapolis. But with my trip to Vancouver, because I didn't care when I was going, I was able to just sort of pick a date when the flights dropped down. So like I found a round trip flight for like $249, and that was
That's
Really?
not bad.
yeah, and
At
that's
all.
like taxes and fee. Like that was the amount I paid, $249 total. So if I had found a flight like that to Indianapolis, then I probably would have taken it, I guess. But
Mhm.
it was it just didn't seem like I wanted to pay that much, and yeah, again, it's easier. Like if I had to go on a specific date, because sometimes it's so weird how flight prices. It's like 1 minute it can be like this, and then something can be double or triple that price. It's
Mhm.
so that's how it goes. Oh, what did Jelly just say? I'm back. Sorry, I was gone for a bit. Well, hello, jellyfish.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Which jellyfish?
That's true. Which jellyfish? There are two. There are two jellyfish swimming around.
I love jellyfish. I have a jellyfish hanging up above my desk right now. A little jellyfish. I went to the Ripley's Museum before Galaxy started. Like I got there a couple days before, so we went to the Ripley's Aquarium. Sorry,
Yeah.
and it's the first time I'd ever seen anything like that. And the jellyfish, I was like, I love jellyfish. They were so beautiful.
So you saw
are-
the wall of the jellyfish just going.
Yeah,
They are
that was
quite,
probably one of my favorite things from my trip during Galaxy was the jellyfish and the aquarium. We don't have anything like that here.
They are quite majestic creatures. when you
Yeah.
see them. I mean, if you see them like if they wash ashore,
Like a Scotch.
They don't look like that.
they kind of just look like a strange piece of slime. But I think in their natural habitat, they look quite
Majestic.
like that, right, Regine?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But colorful.
And they can sting you too. They can sting you.
that's actually like a real thing down here. We have to be careful of because we're surrounded by the ocean. So when you're at the shore, jellyfish wash up a lot, and you need to make sure you kind of watch where you're walking, especially if you're in bare feet, because you can it's a real thing. You can get stung.
Is it true that if you pee on your jellyfish thing, it helps? Or is that just something from friends?
What?
I've heard that too. Apparently, if you get stung by jellyfish, the way to neutralize the pain or whatever is
Oh.
to pee on it.
Oh, on the sting. I've heard that. Yeah, I don't know if it's true though.
Jellyfish
out.
says, "I've been stung by jellyfish. It hurts a lot."
I bet. Yes.
Did you pee on it?
Oh, jellyfish says, "No, that's not true."
Oh.
I feel like that would sting more, like if you're already stung and you have a wound. That I don't know. I feel like that might sting more. Just,
Yeah.
I don't know how that would be helpful.
I wonder if it's something somebody made up. I mean, it sounds like it could be true. It's like how like there's some kind of chemical reaction, like whatever urine is made of would neutralize. Like that's kind of the idea that they're selling, but I'm not sure if it's true or not. But jellyfish.
I've heard mud. Actually,
mud.
Bee stings and mud. I've had to do that, and that works.
I don't think I've ever been. Have I been stung by a bee? I've been stung by a wasp before.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Yeah, it hurt. It stung me right here.
Oh.
In fact, you know what happened? I don't know why I was doing this. Well, I know why I was a kid, but there was like a big wasp nest in the bush.
Oh no.
In front of
What
my
did you
neighbor's
do?
house. Well, I had for some reason I had a fishing rod, and you know how the fishing rods that can like extend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had one of those, but it was broken. So it was literally just sort of an extendable stick that I like to play with, like a lightsaber. And I think they were planning to get rid of or they were planning to have the wasp nest removed. And for whatever reason, I like went up and I was like hitting it, with my stick.
How old were you?
Like 20. No, I was like quite young.
It was like yesterday.
Yeah. But I was like hitting it, and then some came to me, right? And then one landed on my head. And I remember like there were some other kids there, and they're like, Scott, there's one on your head, right? And I went like this. I was like, right? And then I like moved my hand, and it was still there. It was like I trapped it under my hand, and then I moved my hand, and then so it was literally like I went, and then I moved my hand, and I could see the reaction be like, it's like they saw it was there, and then it stung me right on the head, and then I just started crying.
You should just captured it there for a while and then flicked it up.
Yes.
That sounds traumatic.
Yeah, it was quite shocking. I don't think that I'm not even sure why I did this. I guess it was the panic was like there was one there,
Yeah.
so I wanted to like
You're like,
make that
"Where?"
area covered or whatever. But yeah, I did basically just trap it there. What I should have done was smacked it at least, but I didn't. I kind of cupped it.
Oh my! But then doesn't it, or is it just bees where they sting you and then they die afterwards?
That's just bees. Bees die when they sting you. But wasps can be quite like they can just keep stinging you and stinging you and stinging
Oh
you.
my
Their
god!
nature's jerk.
Yeah. Yep, they are. What did jellyfish say?
Because pee is unwanted fluid that your body doesn't. Oh, it disappeared. off
Yeah,
my screen.
He says because pee is unwanted fluid that your body doesn't want. Yes, and a jellyfish sting is venom inserted into the bloodstream. Yes, and hypothetical would be bad actually. Yes, and then he says bees are terrifying. When a bee lands on your arm, that is true fear. I'm not that worried about bees actually. I find. Yeah, well, I find if a bee lands, like if I'm out,
They don't
say,
want to
sitting,
die.
yeah, like if I'm eating
suicide.
outside, even if a wasp, like if I'm eating outside, there's some people where if a bee comes near them, they're like, and they'll
That's
run away.
me.
Yeah, I've never
Yeah,
been
me
like that. I tend to just go like, I'm just like, okay. And then if it tries to land on my food, I just kind of go like this, and then it just goes away. Like,
No, I'm that person that stands up and runs away.
When I was a kid, I have a really large family, and we would do great big gatherings for Canada Day. At my aunt and uncle had a big pool, so we'd go to their house, and it would be like a big pool party. But there were bees everywhere, and I would take my barbecue food that I would get and take it and go into the garage and like sit and eat in the garage, so the bees would leave me alone.
Smart.
actually,
run
I remember in elementary school there was this hill in the yard, right? And for some reason, up just a little ways up the hill, there was like a big wasp like area, like they dug underground and they were there, and like me and my friend would just go like sit there like among them and like
Why? What's
dig
wrong
around.
with you?
I think we had kind of like convinced ourselves that we were like their friends or something. We never got stung though. We
well,
just
you're
kind
in
of hung out.
elementary school. It's fine.
Yeah, in fact, you know what we tried to do? You know how you can have like ant farms with like the glass
Mhm.
and stuff? We tried to dig a little hole in like their nest and then put like saran wrap over it, and the idea was that maybe we would be creating like a little thing where they could like walk around and we could see them.
Did you
Didn't really work,
watch?
though.
Did you watch a lot of movies as a kid? Actually, yeah, you did.
Yeah, I definitely did. Yeah,
But wait, where did you get saran wrap from?
one of our lunches probably.
Oh I'm
So,
like, what?
yeah.
You
So
bring a
we
ball
tried to
of
like
saran wrap to school.
we like dug the little hole and then we like spread it across and then we would use sticks to like hold it in place. And I guess we thought that because we have like a hole into their nest that they would just walk around in there. We'd be able to watch them. But obviously, like the wasps are not gonna walk around in that hole because like they're gonna see the saran wrap is just like they're just gonna stay underground. So it didn't work. But in our child brains, we thought that would. Anyway, we didn't get stung and we were digging around. Like we spent, I remember, like quite a bit of time. Like every recess, we'd go, okay, let's go check on them, and we would go like sit there.
You're a weird child, Scott. You're kidding.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been
was.
that brave. I would have seen that there and been like, nope, go and eat my lunch somewhere else.
And that's why
Yeah.
they attacked you a few years later.
Yeah,
This
that's right.
was
That one
for
that
the
stung me.
time that you.
He was waiting. He's building up his.
He like
his-
jumped on your backpack and like went home with you, and then built a nest at your neighbor's house.
Yeah. Soon.
Watching you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what would Jellyfish say? In fact, pee would be really bad because you could get urosepsis, which could make your body go into septic shock. Your blood pressure would plummet, and you could get organ failure possibly. Gosh.
Oh,
Jellyfish.
that sounds awful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jellyfish knows its facts.
Mhm.
Jellyfish knows his things about. So I guess there it is. I think according to Jellyfish, who is an expert on jellyfish, if you get stung, don't pee on it.
If Jellyfish is an anime fan, then they should check out Princess Jellyfish. It's one of my favorites. It's really good.
Oh,
Princess Jellyfish.
There you go,
Heard it
Jellyfish.
here first.
recommendation. It's big brain time. That's right, Jellyfish. That's right. Well, this was a nice
On
chat.
that note.
On that note,
That kind of snowballed.
we ran.
Okay,
we
my
ran the whole.
question.
Yeah.
Sorry, my question before we wrap things up. Scott, you have said that you would do another pageant one day, maybe, if it came up. So now there's this new pageant that
Mhm.
Krissy is creating for both men and women.
Yeah.
You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah. Cosplay pageant, eh?
I feel like you
Hmm.
could do it. Like you have all the wigs, you have all the props. You just have to narrow down which one you'd be.
Yeah.
The gears are
Fun.
turning.
Gears are turning. Okay, I would think about
Right
it.
on the spot now.
Yeah, I do.
Wait,
I mean,
Krissy, is it open
Yeah?
to international
Yes.
applications? There you go.
Yeah.
worldwide. Okay, yeah, I'll think about it. If I could come up with a cool cosplay idea. I am
Dressing
kind
up
of in
will
a
be fun.
yeah. I am in a costume thinking mode these days because of just Halloween coming up, and
Mhm.
I'm planning to wear a bunch of costumes for my streams this
Spooky week?
Actually, yeah, the same way I did it last week. I wore a different costume every
Ooh.
week, so I've had some viewers suggesting some costumes to me. So I'm in a costume kind of thought process. So I'll think about it.
How many wigs do you have, Krissy?
How many do I have?
Yeah.
I don't have many wigs. I actually just started working with them. Like 2019 was my first year working with wigs because most like Catwoman has a headpiece
Fair.
on, so I didn't really need one for that. But I have 4.
Scott, how many do you have?
Some I don't have anymore. But I have like random ones just because, yeah, from like the Hobbit video I made years ago and stuff. I probably have 5 or 6 random wigs
You have
lying around.
more wigs than a cosplayer, and you don't
Yeah.
want to do this pageant.
I would definitely wear a wig if I enter because I think wigs in just general are pretty fun.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
I
when
ended
we
up having
went
to
and
rip
looked-
mine off though. Like near the end of the day yesterday, I went back and I changed into like a casual outfit, and I was just like a casual asana. And then I was sitting on a bench, and I'm like, I need to take this off. Like my head was just pounding after wearing it for the whole day, and it's long. This one was almost down to my knees, so it was long and
my
heavy,
God.
and my head was just not taking it very well anymore.
I can imagine that's probably the big challenge of it is it's not just putting together that costume, but having to sort of wear it for an extended period of time, right? Because you're where I mean I even find it even just streaming sometimes. Like if I'm wearing the ears and the sunglasses and everything, and I'm sitting for 3-4 hours, like
The
certain
pressure
areas
on
start to
your
hurt. Like either like if something starts digging in or it just it's quite a commitment.
Did you get a headache when you wore my crown last year, Scott?
I don't think so, but again, the sit down's usually only about an hour, so it's not as bad. I do find usually if I start to feel in pain, it's usually when you get the 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour mark.
Did you get the crown dent?
Did I? No, it was only an hour. I think that's why. So I was.
He had a wig on.
I did have a wig on, of course.
Oh, okay, that probably helped.
I had to have
He
Regine's
had a wig,
long.
and then he had the crown.
That was Regine's long hair.
I don't think synthetic hair dents the same.
Yeah. Jellyfish says, I'm going to get that medical degree one day. Probably not. I'm bad at math. Well, hey, you know what? Math, like anything, is like you can practice and you get better at it. But if you want to be a medical person, that's cool, Jellyfish. What was the name of the anime? You said Princess Jellyfish, right?
Yeah, it's called Princess Jellyfish. It's got one season, and it's one of those ones that when it ends, you're like, what? No. But if you like manga as well, there's a whole manga on it that you can continue to read the story with.
Sweet. And he also asks, have you ever been to Bondi Beach? I have been to Bondi
Beach. Not.
Bondi Beach is in Australia.
Oh no, I have not been to Australia. I would love to go to Australia.
No. Bondi Beach is really nice, actually. It's just beautiful.
Is that where jellyfish is in Bondi Beach?
I don't know, but I imagine there are probably some jellyfish out there. I didn't see any when I was there.
That's where they got stung.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's where I got stung. There you go. Bondi Beach. Yeah, I've been there. Although, did I swim when I was there? I'm not sure if I actually went in the water when I was at Bondi Beach. We were more just walking around, and we spent some time laying out on the. I think I went and put my feet in the water. But I don't think I swam.
You go all the way there and you just put your feet in the water.
Oftentimes I don't swim that often. You know what it is? It has to be really, really hot for me to want to swim because I really don't like the feeling of being cold. So, and I don't mind being cold in the water, but I don't like that feeling like when you come out of the water and then the wind blows and you're just like cold after that.
Oh, yes.
So I like it.
I like the cold though, so I don't mind that.
Yeah, I just like it. So if I like it to be a hot day, so that I come out of the water, and then like the sun just dries you. I like that feeling.
That's fair.
But I have been to jellyfish. Oh, it was a box jellyfish, so that means it was like in the shape of a box. It was a cube, a cube-shaped jellyfish.
Interesting.
I don't think that's real. I think although I don't know actually why it's called a box jellyfish, but I know that that's a name of a jellyfish. But
Krissy, you're a jellyfish fanatic.
I don't know a lot about them. I think they're pretty and they catch my eye, but I don't know a lot about them.
Yeah.
And that
I know that they hurt if you step on them when they're on the beach.
So on that note, everybody,
watch out for the jellyfish.
Watch out for the jellyfish. This was an educational episode.
It was. We learned a lot about jellyfish and cosplay and gaming and webcams and
and particularly
getting free stuff in pageants.
We touched on everything. We ran the gamut tonight, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. So once again, Krissy, one more time, let us know where can people find you, where can they follow you if they would like to learn more.
So I can be found on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch under Krissy Kat __ for all of those platforms. And you can follow me or reach out and ask questions about Royal Crusader, or if you're just interested in gaming, cosplay, and pageants as a whole, then I post about all that stuff.
Well, Krissy, I didn't ask, how much is it to compete, I guess, or register for Royal Crusader?
$50 Canadian.
$50 Canadian. Perfect. Yeah. That's not bad.
Cool. In fact,
that's actually not bad at all.
I'll show
I wanted to keep it low so that I could hopefully that would also help open it up to people who might not be able to afford pageants because they can be very expensive, as I'm sure you well know. Yeah.
There you go. The Royal Crusader. I've got the poster up there. Everyone can be a hero. Check it out. And
we did not plan that, okay, guys. We just both read it at the same time.
Well, it's catchy. It's very catchy.
It is. So
Oh,
if you guys who are tuned in, sorry Scott, if you guys are
Yeah.
tuned in and want to see Scott participate in this pageant, because it again is open to all genders of all ages,
Yep.
like this video, comment down below actually who you think Scott should cosplay as if he competes.
In the
Actually, yeah,
hot
I would
seat
be.
right now.
I would be looking for ideas. Actually, that would be cool. Oh, and what did Jellyfish just say there? It's because of their body shape. Apparently, there are also
Oh.
50 different types of box jellyfish. So maybe they are kind of shaped like a box.
Well, there
I
you
am.
go.
This is why you tune in, guys, because there's so much to learn. So much
Scott,
to learn.
Scott, you should be Princess Jellyfish.
Or a box jellyfish.
Princess Jellyfish is pretty heroic.
There you go.
Yeah. She defied the odds and broke into an industry that wouldn't generally be for, I won't give away a lot, but she broke into an industry that generally stereotypically would not be something that a person like her could have gotten into.
That's
There
the
you
storyline of
go.
that's Princess Jellyfish, right?
Scott, you could borrow my crown again.
Oh no, I don't need to borrow it, Regine, because I'll have to make it. I'll have to make it.
Ooh.
But
Stay
Regine, where can
tuned, ladies
people?
and gents.
Yeah, where can people find you, Regine?
You guys can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, but not really Twitter, at It's Regine Alaina. Or if you'd like to continue to follow my pageant journey, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Mrs. Galaxy Southern Canada 2022. Or as Scott mentioned, Deliciousness Treats is officially open for business, so make sure you check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Deliciousness Treats. Oh, and you can find me on the Pageant Sit Down, since we've been talking about it, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my YouTube channel, where we talk all things pageantry. The links are in the description. Scott,
Nice.
where can people find you?
You can find me right here, where you're watching this very video, youtube.com/Scott Dion Brown. I'm also on Twitch and D Live at Scott Dion Brown. You can find me also on Instagram and Twitter as well, but YouTube is the best place, because not only do you get the live streams, not only do you get the sit down, you also get all the other content, music, vlogs, comedy sketches, trailers, just whatever I post. I post all sorts of things on there. So yeah, exactly. Come on out here. Oh, he wants me to play as the Joker. Oh, that would be kind of fun too, the Joker. A bunch
Is
of
the
people in the
Joker a
chat.
hero?
Well, I mean, that's a good point.
Depends on how you see it.
Depends how, yeah, it depends how you see it. Not sure. Do you want to know how I got these scars? Yeah, that's right. David. That's right. Yeah, so everybody, thank you guys for being here. Krissy Kat, once again, thank you so much for being our guest this week.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
It was, and all the best. Best of luck with putting on the Royal Crusader pageant. I think it's going to be great. And once again, everybody, check it out if you would like to be involved. And everybody, thank you so much for being here. We will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.